Over the past few weeks, we've been asking the question, where do you go to church? Looking at the passage in John chapter 20 after Jesus' death. If you remember, the account starts with the disciples behind locked doors because of fear. Then Jesus turns up at the meeting and peace fills the room. Jesus actually says to them, "Peace be with you." But then he goes on to say, "As the Father has sent me, so I am sending you." So we then considered what it meant to be sent. You can probably tell I love this passage. And one reason is this: over the years, I've been to all three churches. You see, many years ago, I locked the doors because of fear. Something happened that left me fearful. And so I know what it is to be in self-preservation mode. I know what it is to be unable to move forward. And I know what it is to have dreams that you feel can never come true, simply because of fear that takes over your emotions and prevents you moving into anything you think God might have. But then something remarkable happened. It took many years, but in a single moment, I had an encounter with Jesus that transformed how I thought. And it removed the fear that had been there for so many years. If any of this is resonating with you, and you're maybe thinking to yourself, if only it were that easy, why doesn't Jesus take away my fear? Well, I wish I had a simple answer. I'm afraid I don't. But let me just suggest a few things. Perhaps ask God to reveal to you the thing that is holding you back. Asking him to give you clarity, and asking him to give you the strength that you need. Maybe ask him what you should do next. Maybe you need someone else to support you in this process. It might even be that you need others to pray with you. And I have some friends that can do just that through a prayer ministry called Acorn. But from my own painful experience, what I can tell you is this: when God's involved in the process of healing, it's better than anything else that's around. And believe me, I tried a lot of things. And the result it has, well, I can only describe it as the very thing that Jesus brings. It's called peace. Perhaps on reflection, I hadn't fully realised how this experience, an experience of Jesus' peace, has enabled me to be more productive in terms of my ministry. You see, we all have gifts and skills that enable us to be Christ's ambassadors on this earth, to enable us to be, as the Bible describes, salt and light. But after years of living in fear, for me, the peace Jesus brought was only the starting point. And if you've never experienced peace that completely removes fear, I pray you will very soon. Because let's be honest, with the current state of the world, this is something we all need. And it's this that allows us to go. I've been in full-time ministry for over 6 years now. And during this time, I've met many Christians that struggle to see that the things that they do are in any way part of a go church. But I believe, and I say this as an encouragement, that the small everyday things that we each do are exactly the things that this broken world needs. A friendly smile, a warm embrace, an act of kindness, maybe supporting a neighbour, even something as simple as being just nice to the people that we meet. Because for some people, nice isn't their ordinary experience. So I'd like to encourage you today. You may not all be able to lead churches, and thank God for those that do. We may not all be able to set up some exciting new ministry that people get excited about, but we can all be actively involved in showing other people, through the way that we treat them, something of the love of Christ. For me, this is what go looks like. I came across a book recently. It's called Walking and Drawing, and it's written by a local artist. And what he's saying is, rather than viewing other people's art and maybe thinking to yourself, oh, there's no way I could do that, for each of us to actually have a go, to, as the title of the book suggests, to walk and draw. So the act of drawing for yourself has a meaning and a depth to it that is very different from just looking at other people's art. The taking part and having a go allows you to experience something that you would never experience without this simple action. It's a great book by Tony Kerrins. Perhaps we can be inspired by this simple philosophy of having a go. And we can recognise that we all have a part to play, however small we may feel it is. So let me finish with the question we've been asking throughout this short series. Where do you go to church? Don't stay in locked doors fellowship. Get in touch. Do you know we're here for you? Maybe even for the first time, allow Jesus in, because when you do, he'll always bring peace. And then when he does, together we can be a people with go in our hearts, and we can share with others the peace that Jesus has given us. Have a good week.